People want to know, is verbal abuse domestic violence in the state of Florida? It could be. Now, typically sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt. That's the old nursery rhyme. That's pretty much applicable as far as you can't be prosecuted for saying bad words. However, if those words turn into threats and those threats are credible, it could be defined as assault. Okay. Now, assault is an intentional unlawful threat by word or act to do violence against another person, coupled with the apparent ability to do so. So, you can call people names all day, and that doesn't necessarily constitute assault. But if you threaten somebody, if you do this, I'm going to do that with the apparent ability to do so, that turns into assault. So, verbal abuse can be considered assault, which can be considered a part of domestic violence. Now, going back to, calling people names all day, that also can be a form of domestic violence if it's in the form of cyber stalking. So, for instance, you cannot maliciously call somebody names in a repeat pattern with the intent to do harm or pester or harass somebody. So cyber stalking is defined to engage in a course of conduct to communicate or cause to be communicated words, images, or language through electronic mail directed at a specific person to cause emotional distress. So yes, even name calling to a certain degree can rise to the level of domestic violence when it's cyber stalking. And again, to rise to cyber stalking, it's got to be a course of conduct, something that's repeated. So, you can't just text somebody 1,000 times, I hate you. If you're engaging in a course of conduct that is repeated to cause harassment, that could be considered cyber stalking. So if there's a lot of nuances with domestic violence. So domestic violence, you might consider, it's got to be some sort of form of battery or choking or spousal abuse, and it doesn't. It can rise to very little. Now, on the same regard, just because you don't like somebody, you can't just get a domestic violence injunction against them because they said one or two nasty things. That's not going to be enough either. Now, if you want to know more about domestic violence cases, I have a whole guide devoted to it. It's for someone who is the victim or someone who is a defendant in a domestic violence charge. We handle a lot of domestic violence injunction hearings as well as criminal defense domestic violence cases. So if you want to know more about how the process works, get our guide. It's called One Bad Night. It's available on our website. Thank you.